What's up, guys? It's Mike, all in on 1896, and it's a Sunday, so that means mow the grass and get everything ready for Monday's work schedule in order. Sprayed the entire fence line of my 19-acre property, and I mowed 2 strips around the whole property fence line. Me and Wyatt are enjoying the sunshine, aren't we? Aren't we, Wyatt?
Yeah.
Are we having a good day today?
Yeah, I'm dripping water.
Oh yeah? Why are you dripping so much water?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. So the Sierra is still smashed after that hailstorm that came through the other day. Windshield's pretty wasted. Mirror over there on that side's pretty wasted. Hood looks like a golf ball. Roof pretty much looks like the same. And there's minor dings throughout the whole side, but this new machine, I'm taking to a new job tomorrow. I'm gonna start a gravel removal job. Got a new bucket on her too. I swapped out the bucket my machine came with this one. This is a Bobcat bucket. I had to do some slight modifications to get it to fit. Around right there was a little tight, so I ground on the bucket a little bit to get it to fit. And then the pin location, it was super tight, but I managed to get it on. I greased everything and just jumped on the bucket, and it slid in. But man, that was getting it on and off is going to be a chore. I probably need to open up those holes where the pins slide through. But I know it's a Bobcat bucket. It was on an MT100 Bobcat in the lot that the guy was selling all these used machines out of, and I wanted it because it's got a deeper, much deeper. It's like 26 inches or something deep, and that'll make picking up rocks and hauling materials a lot better. This machine's capable of 1,000 pounds lifting capacity, while my other one was like 500. And that machine got sold yesterday. I bought that TX 420 about 3 years ago. I'm talking on the camera right now, buddy. All right. I bought that TX 420 about 3 years ago with right around 1,000 hours on it, and I sold it with 1,420 hours on it. It was my most used machine, and that's what got me liking these things so much. Always wanted a bigger, better machine, but I couldn't afford it until now. So I got that used TX 1000. I'm gonna put it to work. Hopefully it's reliable. The other one was really reliable, and I went with the name brand versus the Chinese style. I'm on some of the forums on the internet, Facebook forums about the Chinese excavators and skid steers, and those skid steers seem fairly problematic. And just yesterday, my Chinese excavator, my DMC-12, the throttle cable broke on it with 41 hours while I was moving it. So I had to put a new $20 throttle cable assembly on it, which is easy, but I mean, it's still stupid that I had to replace something like that already. Either way, prepped and ready for tomorrow. All right, so we're loaded up. All 5 bushes they asked to have ripped out, full of all the old gravel. It's super dirty. I got the weed barrier hiding down here, a satellite dish, all the edging, all that ripped out. We got it done in about 4 hours. The new TX 1000 does a pretty good job, but I know that there's still something going on with that track system. Kind of track this up a little bit, so I'll probably end up having to seed this area. It's a little wet on this side, shady, but it could be worse. So we'll come back. Tomorrow's supposed to be a rain day. We'll come back on Wednesday. I'll level this out, weed barrier it. We're gonna put edging in. I got steel edging going in versus the plastic we tore out. And then we got 6 boxwoods. I think 3 of them are going here. I moved a dwarf Alberta spruce from over there to here to mimic this side. Do 3 more of those boxwoods in here. And really it's just edging and gravel. I got my machine chained up because Springfield thieves are crazy. But yeah, there's also 3 irrigation heads that were in this bed buried, and I'm gonna ask the customer to check and see if they're alive because they were under everything. I don't know. Back at it, day 2. It's Tuesday. I went and got some edging last night. Powder coated brown steel Colmet brand edging. I like to use a lot of this stuff. And I'm going to clean up these edges that are here now, and I'm just going to ride what they had with their plastic edging. It rained last night. It didn't rain a lot, but just enough to get things a little soggy. Forecasted rain like all day today, and it's morning and it's not here, so I guess I'm just going to work through and see what happens. But yeah, start cutting these edges out. So coming through, cleaning up this edge with a shovel, get a nice sharp edge. And I talked to him about bringing in some little extra topsoil to fill in this front edge because there's a lot of spilled over gravel that's all smashed in, and they don't want to do it. So probably, I did already put in the estimate to bring 2 yards of soil around this tree and seed it. Probably going to steal some from over there and bring it over here and touch up around this because that's just going to look terrible. Alright, we are about 60 foot deep or so on this steel edging, and it's always a challenge to get good curves with this stuff. Sometimes you get little straight sections that aren't ideal, but I followed the contour that they had previously, and the grade changes a lot up and down. I think it came out pretty good though, considering this volunteer forsythia is growing from under the stairs. It's like 2 of them. So yeah, I just cut the edges down against the concrete, so we got a decent edge of gravel. We're gonna come in with river gravel. All right, now we've got our 5 ounce DeWitt weed barrier. This is the 6 foot roll. I get it like it's like 250 foot, big rolls. The less seams you have, the better. Pin it down with 6-inch sawed pins, and I kind of roughly place these. She wants 3 here. That one's not where it needs to be, but 3 of these dudes, 3 boxwoods, and 3 boxwoods over here. And I told her, I'll plant anything you want to put in here, but I do advise whenever you have boxwoods to trim them twice a year to keep their shape and size. I advise to ship them or trim them 1 time a year. Just got 1 ewe here, 1 ewe there, and the 6 boxwoods, and then 2 volunteer forsythia. You can let that get as big as you want, but if it was me, I would have yanked that thing out. It's growing under the stairs. And then tomorrow we'll probably start on some of this dirt work over here. We've got 2 yards of dirt to do over here to cover some roots under this giant red cedar. That's what I think it is. And we'll bring in river gravel to go under this giant viburnum I don't know if this is a leather leaf viburnum or what this is called. I don't usually plant those either because they get enormous, but definitely could use some touch-ups. So get these tossed in the ground, load up, and just get prepped and ready for tomorrow. So it's Wednesday morning, and it rained a little drizzly yesterday all afternoon and a little bit this morning at my house. So I was debating on whether to go to work or not, but I can't just sit around. So here I am out here at McMullen's getting my gravel, some 1-inch river gravel, and I think I'm probably just gonna end up wheelbarrowing it all downhill in the backyard. But I mean, I could do it. It just takes time. It'd be better to do it with a machine, but you know, you do what you do to make that money. A little trick I learned from an old employer when doing weed barriers, to roll your edges up like an inch or so around everything, because a lot of people will cut it and they'll just cut it flush and they don't do a good job, and you'll see dirt on the edges and then stuff grows right through that. So I like the idea of rolling it up on the edges, especially on stuff like that Bermuda grass down here. That's gonna creep through regardless of whatever you do. The only way I found to manage it is to spray it with Roundup or glyphosate. So you see it all, and then it starts getting good fescue over here, so I don't think it'll be a problem. But yeah, that's the way I do weed barrier. I like to use the nice 6-foot rolls that have the felt backing. It doesn't fray nearly as bad. I've even seen some people, they take like a torch and they'll cut their holes with a torch, and that burns the edges so it doesn't fray. And I think that's a really good way to do it. I just don't have a torch, so I always use a pair of scissors. Alright, so day 3 did about almost 4 tons of this 1-inch river gravel. It looks a little dusty dry at the moment, but once it gets washed a couple times, it'll look like river gravel again. So yeah, I really didn't want to bring the machine down here and do this, so I did probably 3 tons of it by a wheelbarrow, and I was kind of forced to do it over here with the machine because this bed is so high. But I tell you, that machine, that bucket can hold like 3 wheelbarrows at a time. It goes in nice. So this is nice and deep, nice and thick. It had a lot of settling in here, so super thick in river gravel. I just top coated that bed, but all this is fresh and new. So tomorrow morning I'll come in with a couple yards of soil, smooth out all the way around this tree, and seed it up, rake it in, and be done with this one. Do a little bit of dirt work maybe on the outside. I like to do it that way, but we'll see what we got. Day 4. Gonna finish this job out today. We're out here at McMullen's getting some dirt. Alright, let's go take this dirt and do something with it. Alright, so we're going to be leveling out around these tree roots. So we're slowly spreading this topsoil out. You can see it's some pretty good dark soil. Pretty good up there. Bring some more down here, smooth this area out. Smooth this area out. Smooth some of this out. Then we'll seed it, and I'll put some fertilizer on it and walk away. But always try to go above and beyond what they ask for, which entails, if I got some extra soil, we'll pull up the splash block and level that out, level some of this out, probably come through on the front of this lightly because the old gravel's all mixed in because it got kicked out of the original edging. Smooth some of that out, seed it, and where I tracked it up with this machine, I'll probably come in and skim this a little bit and seed it too, as you know, they didn't ask for that. Alright, this job is a wrap. I went ahead and got 2 yards of dirt spread. I come back and hit these edges with some nice topsoil and a little bit of 80-20 seed, which means 80% fescue, 20% rye. This is a huge slope. This is likely to erode, so the quicker grass starts growing, the better. He did a pretty good job filling up all these roots. One thing about topsoil is always use more. This is just nice to have, but I smoothed out a lot of this guy. And then as we travel up the hill where the dingo was tracking back and forth, I went ahead and just slopped some topsoil on that, seeded it and fertilized it as well. Oh, she said I could have this boot, which is pretty cool, but you can see nice and topsoily. So they run a little irrigation, they should be able to get this grass to grow, and I'll be happy customers. It'll be better than whenever I got here, and that's the goal. You want it to be better than when you started. So go ahead and blow off, collect a check, and move on.